some quick little tips on how you can improve Fortnite with 5 easy things, because everyone likes the listicles, everyone likes the idea of like, why don't we just go ahead and turn it into 5 little tips. So here's 5 easy tips that will improve your Fortnite game massively. The very first one is one you can do before you even hop out of the bus, and it really is important that you go to settings and you change to Combat Pro. This is something I put off for a really long time. It's all the way down here. You go to controller, set your configuration to Combat Pro. This allows you to switch weapons using your bumpers instead of pressing Y, and it allows you to have so much more control over everything. The only, downsides is you switch a few controls around and it's a bit confusing, being like, where's the map, where's this, but doing it is so important. So first tip is to improve your control scheme, get used to it, be good with it, and then it is a much easier, and it's a lot more like other games too, which is kind of impressive. The second tip you need to know to improve at Fortnite, because we're going through these at lightning speed it seems, is knowing how to land properly. So when if you want to land really quickly, because the faster you land, the faster you can start looting things. In our case, I guess we're going to this place. It's important to know where you're landing when you go to the ground quickly, but if you're the first person to land, you have a significant advantage over everyone else, because you can see where they land, and you can also, get to the things you're going for before they can. So that's really important. But the second thing that's worth knowing is it's worth knowing exactly. It's really valuable to know exactly where. I lost my train of thought because I fell right through the ceiling. How does that even happen? So yeah, it's really important to know exactly where the stuff is when you land. That's always important. But it's also important that you, once you do land, you go straight for the stuff. Okay, wow, really good stuff already. But as soon as you land, you want to go straight for the stuff that you see down there, like a house in this case. Usually it's houses, but sometimes there's just like a thing which clearly has a chest in it. Go straight towards them, and you also, when you're in the umbrella phase, you want to have like the umbrella when you're not in the umbrella phase, when you're about to activate it. It activates when you're a certain amount above the ground you're on. So don't hover over mountains. Try and avoid mountains. Instead, hover over lakes and stuff, or rivers and stuff, because you'll get a slightly better view of things. So the second tip you need to know is knowing which weapons are worthwhile, because right now I have a pump action shotgun and I have a tactical shotgun. So this thing is semi-auto, as you can see right here. So moving on to the third tip right here. As you can see, it fires a bullet, then it fires a bullet, then it fires a bullet. There's a guy just over there. However, the pump action shotgun's way better. You need to know this sort of thing to do well at this game, because this thing has absurd range. Do you see how I just took that guy out in one bullet at that distance? It's absurd the range you get on this thing, and it's something that's really important to know. So yeah, in this game, you need to know what's worthwhile and what's not worthwhile. So for instance, we see some slurp juice, that's really good. If we had a med kit, we wouldn't bother using it in this sort of time because we just don't have the time. You need to know that tactical submachine guns, for instance, they're terrible. Pistols, also really bad. In fact, let me try and kill some of these just to prove a point. So this is a tactical submachine gun. Again, it says it's tactical, it's blue. Theoretically, it's the best weapon, just going by the class thing alone. Okay, he's building over there for some reason. Just going by the class thing alone, it is officially the best weapon, but as anyone who's actually played this game knows, that's not how it works in the slightest. So the guy is just around here somewhere. Maybe he just jumped into the roof or something. Oh, there he is. So here you can see, it's doing like 18 damage, and I just about got him, but I really should have died. He got a full shotgun blast at me. He basically got a second one. This gun is terrible, and he was wounded too. But if you looked at the damage reticles, again, it might seem good because I actually killed him in like 4 bullets there. But this thing does, let me show you the damage on screen right now by going to my inventory, which is up on the D-pad, right? As you can see, this thing does 15 damage, and that's a good version, and the pistol does 23 damage and fires semi-automatically with a lot of hitbox bloom, and it's basically kind of bad. You want it instead of these, so I'm actually going to try. Okay, I know it's an SMG, but let me show you at distance here. Let me just pop this guy up. Okay, so it didn't even hit him once there, which again, it's arguably still the aim, not this, but instead of having this, you really want to pick up any assault rifle possible. So assault rifles are then trumped by burst fire assault rifles, in my experience, which are then trumped by the epic/legendary scars. Also, there's a chest nearby. It's important you know where those are. So, yeah, third tip is knowing the right weapons. In this case, so there we go, pick up the burst rifle, and now we've got a way better weapon. Even though it's got less rarity, it's a much better weapon in practicality than the weapon we had before. So, yeah, you want to keep that in mind. The fourth thing you want to keep in mind is, a few audio cues, I guess. So, as you can see, I heard there's a chest there. It's actually in the roof above that building. Knowing what auto cues in this game will really help you out. For footsteps, first of all, I mean, that's the obvious one, but it'll also help you out with things that don't seem so obvious, like, for instance, footsteps. Again, like, you can hear them only very faintly and stuff like that, but again, that will help you so much late game, so that's important. And look, just because I had my audio turned on and just because I know what to listen for, I get 50 free shield right there. And in fact, I probably should have drank the previous slurp juice, but I didn't, and now we're going to. So we'll drink this as well. I got 50 free, armor just because I happened to know that there was a noise here, and it just happened to give me a good chest, which could have given me a good weapon or a legendary scar or anything like that I also want, and that's something that's worth keeping in mind. So since I have 3 slots, I'll pick up this shotgun because again, it's worth having duplicate weapons because one of the so again, 4th tip is to know audio cues, really important. Also lets you know which gun people have that are firing at you, like just from picking it up. There's so many tiny things in this game you can pick up only from like listening to them, and again, it's important to know what they are so you can do that. So if there was a guy back there, he's like either hidden in that building or he's like gone a really weird way around. And yeah, so that brings me into the 4th, so the 4th tip was actually to do with the audio cues. That brings me nicely into the 5th tip here, which is going to be about the circle. So I give this tip out a lot, but it's something I'm going to try and demonstrate right here. Being in the circle is a really tricky thing. The circle is essentially a zone of safety, but you can't treat it... Okay, there's the guy from earlier. So we're going to crouch and we're going to get him... Okay, horribly apparently. Okay, so as you can see, I'm going to like probably die right now. But this is where the... okay, so he's building, which says he's insecure. So we'll run over a shotgun where he least expects it, and we'll just do this. Does not expect this in the slightest, it seems. I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry. But yeah, basically being at the circle is a really dangerous zone. That's where everyone's going. And bear in mind that every time the circle is getting smaller, more players are being pushed into a smaller amount of space. So the average distance between me and the next player is probably like, you know, like a few hundred meters. Like there's no one around me. I can see that. However, as the circles get smaller, you know they're getting closer. And also keep in mind that as the circles get smaller, people are trying to be just inside the zone. Like right here, for instance, if I get just on the other side of this mountain. So... assuming there's no one around here, I could easily just die any second. I always want to like continue these videos forever, but you know, we'll try and finish this one soon. So the final tip here is knowing about the circle and knowing that just being inside it is kind of a deadly place. This place right here is an extra, you know, right now there's a minute 30 till the zone actually closes. So people are going to be coming like crazy from both these directions, which again means I have to like watch out for both sides. So being inside the zone is not necessarily the safest place. I would actually recommend be just outside the zone or be like slightly further in. You gotta like, again, you gotta really bear in mind that like safety in this game is only, you know, relative to where people are going to expect you for, because people do a lot of looking around. So, okay, there's a guy just up there, for instance, and there's a guy just next to him, proving my previous point about how like closely compact people get. And yeah, hopefully that's my point here. So tip number 1 is use the Combat Pro layout. Again, it's tiny things, but being able to crouch with the same button you aim with, really useful, because you can do it at the same time you're aiming, for instance. Did I see a guy there? I imagine it. But the second tip is to land faster. The faster you land, the better chances you do of getting the good stuff, which you probably want. I don't know how I managed to do that. The third tip is to know which weapons are better than what. So for instance, right now, which of these weapons do I pick up? I'm going to trade in this for the sniper rifle because you want to know like which weapons you have good range of. I would say the very best weapon in the game is a good burst fire assault rifle, followed by a good shotgun, followed by maybe... Oh god, followed by, okay, we're going to die now, but followed by some sword buff stuff, and that's what keep in mind. And yeah, you just want to basically, in this game, you want to have a good balance of weapons, you want to know which weapons are good, and then you want to know the audio cues. If you have a headset, that's amazing. If you don't have a headset, you're going to lose out on a lot of really important stuff, like where chests are, when people are running towards you, what weapons they have, all this valuable information. And finally, you want to know about the zone and the deadliness it provides. You need to appreciate that when the zone comes in, it's not like, oh, I just inside the zone, so I'm really quite safe here. You need to keep in mind that it doesn't... Don't make him jump off there, I think I did. You gotta bear in mind, it just doesn't work entirely like that, and therefore, you gotta keep that in mind. So thank you very much for watching today's video. Here are 5 tips to help you improve at Fortnite. Hope you all enjoyed it, because third channel, don't care.